Hey guys, it's Clay on the trail, and I'm really sorry about the wind, but I just got this impromptu opportunity to compare my tent against the tent that Karen, she's hiding over here, she just purchased. And I wanted to really give them a side-by-side comparison because why I love this Nemo, it's a Hornet. It's a very light tent. It comes in right at 2 pounds. After I saw her tent, I thought that it would be worthy to compare the two. This is an Outdoor Vitals Dominion one-person tent. It comes in about $225. Mine comes in right over $300. Mine weighs around 2 pounds. Hers comes in just under 3. So I've come into my tent to show you what does the extra $100 buy you in compared to each other. And the answer really is, mine is a pound lighter than hers is. But anytime you go lightweight or ultra lightweight, you miss out on some aspects of comfort. So I guess to start, as far as room goes, I've never had a problem with this tent. I'm 5'10"-ish, I guess. And my head doesn't hit. You get about 8 inches of width in the top. So like today, it's super windy as the tent's going back and forth. It actually hits my head if I'm sitting up as the wind blows it back and forth. The other thing for me, this may not be a big deal for everybody, but for me, I always camp with my dog. And I bought a tent with a vestibule so my dog would have somewhere to lay, to stay dry, and I would know where he was in the nighttime. And also if it's raining, to be able to cook. But guys, like, it's the width of my hand. My dog sticks out underneath the vestibule. So if it rains, part of him is getting wet and part of him will stay dry. So I was a little disappointed with that. Now again, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, it's a pound, and pounds add up when you're backpacking. There is something to be said for comfort. There is a feature with this Nemo tent, this little shelf up here. You can put your headlamp or your phone in there, and it's a weird, like plasticky plastic. I don't know exactly what it is, but when your light hits it, it disperses and it actually lights the tent up really nicely. And that is a cool feature to have that the Outdoor Vitals tent does not. As far as width goes, again, I use a Nemo Tensor regular wide pad, and there is, in this tent with everything down, there will be like 6 inches of room, whichever side you put, and almost a foot at the head of room. So this tent has room. Pockets, the Nemo Hornet one person, there's your storage. It's one pocket, and it is, the size of your hand. So you can put your phone, your contacts, your glasses, a headlamp, your headlamp up here. And that's pretty much all the storage. Anything else is going to have to be in your pack. There is enough room for people that don't camp with dogs for your pack to go out here in the vestibule. But it's like, if it's very big, it's either going to be laying in on your tent or part of it's going to get wet. This vestibule is teeny. I mean, I'm talking 16 inches. Right here is it. And it comes in at such an angle. If you put your cook tent, your stove right here, you're gonna melt your tent. Like, there just isn't any room. What do I love about this tent? I mean, it weighs 2 pounds and it's teeny. When it's rolled up, it is so small. Super easy to set up. One of the reasons it's so small, so this is considered a semi-freestanding tent. So on the front of the, I'm gonna make everybody dizzy here. On the front of the tent, let's see where I'm at, right here, the poles go to a Y. So these poles go to each corner of the tent. In the back, it is a single pole that goes right down to a single guy out. And then there are rope or string that you stake out on each corner. So if you were on slick rock and tried to set this up, you wouldn't be able to stretch the bottom out. If you can't drive a stake, you can't stretch the bottom out. You'd have to stack rocks or do something, and then anytime you move, you tip rocks over. That, I mean, that's a great idea, but it generally just doesn't work. The other reason this tent weighs so much less than the other tent is the way that the vestibule is cut out, the rain fly. There is a foot of height from the bottom of the rain fly to the ground. And that's one of the reasons. I mean, it makes a great doggy door, but when my dog lays down, he's hanging out from underneath it right here. So again, I'm sorry, I'm at my mom's house and she has neighbors that I'm not used to having. So I'm actually in a neighborhood today. Karen, who went with me on our last Quincy snow camp this year, she purchased this tent and told me about it, and I'm actually really excited about it. If you notice the difference of the rain fly, how mine is cut out, hers goes all the way to the ground. So that's the first, one of the first things to compare. Mine has a spreader bar on top that's maybe 8 inches wide. Her spreader bar is 16 inches on both sides. So like almost, well, it's 3 feet across, almost 3 feet across. Here we are inside the Dominion one person. And I want to go through the screen here. Edge of the tent, nice bathtub floors, just like the Nemo Hornet has. The vestibule, even on the side without the door, is a foot away from the tent. And low to the ground, if it rains, it's going to bring the water all the way away from your tent. Have about the same amount of width on the bottom of the tent, the foot end of the tent, but hers is a full freestanding tent, not a semi-freestanding. So it forks right here, the poles go down to each corner. So if the wind's not blowing, you can stake it. You don't need to stake it down. And then again on the head end, the poles fork there and keep the top wide open. Now this is one of the bigger things. This is the amount of headroom. My head on my tent goes from about here to here. This has, I mean, just so much more room as far as sitting up. I don't think, as far as the width of the floor, that this tent is as big as mine. I think my tent has more floor space. But when you're sitting up, I mean, I have to move my head. Hopefully you can see me. I have to move my head clear over both sides to hit the sides. On the other one, anytime you move, you're hitting your head. This will be what makes me sell my Nemo or not use it as much and actually buy one of these. I've already made the decision. Is this spot right here. This vestibule, you could put your stove out here and cook. I mean, we're talking feet till it hits the tent. This is gotta be 3 feet from the bathtub floor to that point out there. I could sleep 2 dogs in this vestibule space. I could cook in it, I could be comfortable. I may have to put my pack out there because the interior of this tent is smaller. But for what I'm using this tent for, I mean, this is a no-brainer. The door, it's hard to show the door here, but I will from the outside, is twice as big as mine, my Nemo Hornet. And I don't know that it really matters. I don't carry that much stuff, but you get 2 gear pockets that are the size, each one of these is the size of the one that I have. So twice as much interior space, a storage space. Now where the Nemo Hornet did high arcing cuts on the rain fly to allow ventilation in, this Dominion, they actually put the ventilation in on the door side and also over here on the non-door side, just like they did in my Luxe tent. It has a little aluminum bar with Velcro on it, so you can actually punch that out and open it up, because it is, right now I have everything closed and it is stuffy in here. There's no doubt about it. Mine has much more ventilation. So this is the little bar I was talking about. It Velcros up and out of the way when you're not using it. And when you want to use it, it's hard to do with one hand. You just stick that Velcro tab here, and it just totally opens up that airspace and gets a lot of airflow in here. And again, on the door, has the same vent system on this side. And kind of the last thing about this tent that I really, really like is that you can pull both sides of the vestibule back and completely open up this side of the tent. If it's not raining, you want to look at the stars, you want to cook while still being sheltered, you know, in the shade or whatever. I think it's a pretty cool feature. So by the time this video is posted, my Outdoor Vitals Dominion tent will be in the mail, because I for sure am going to make an upgrade or a downgrade depending on how you look at it, because I am going to add a pound to the base of my, to my tent. I'm going to go from a 2-pound tent to a 3-pound tent, but the features of this tent are just absolutely outstanding. Okay, last win for the Dominion. If you want to go really ultralight, here is your option. This comes with a free footprint right now. It's $35 to buy it. Right now it's free with the tent. So you can set it up. I've taken the tent out and just set it up with the footprint. So again, lots of room. Now if it rained, man, this would suck. If you went to a place that was super mosquito-y, this is not the setup for you. But I mean, if I sit on the edge of the footprint and stretch my legs out, my toes are touching the end of the vestibule. I mean, like I said, this could be a 3-dog tent if you took, a dog here, a dog here, with just your footprint, and there's as much room as I have in my Hornet for another dog right here. So I'm pretty excited. I think I'm gonna go with this. I already know. Here is an overall view size-wise. You can see the difference between the Nemo Hornet compared to the Outdoor Vitals Dominion one. If you're looking for ultra lightweight, worried about space and weight, that right there is the thing to have. If you're looking for a little more comfort and willing to take the extra pound, I don't think you can beat this one. Here are a comparison of them in their stuff sacks. That's the difference in 2 pounds and 3 pounds. Honestly, I don't know. Most of the places I go get an afternoon thunderstorm, or they're in the desert and I don't like scorpions. I don't know that I would ever do just a footprint and rainfly configuration. But it's just there if you want to. I dip all of my stuff in permethrin. The rain flies on my tents, my pack, all my clothes, my shoes. I soak everything in permethrin. So I really don't think even mosquitoes would be an issue with this, because anything that got near your tent is going to be killed by the permethrin, and it would be real hard. You're going to get ants and ground crawlers in here, but if you sprayed or dipped your footprint, you do pretty good. So that is my honest review. I'm not paid by either one of them. I get a better deal on the Nemo Hornet. It's a company that I get a discount on because of my first responder experience. And I think I actually can get the Nemo Hornet for about the same price I can buy this, maybe even a little cheaper, which is why I was excited to buy it in the first place. But having physically been in another little bit larger tent, I will take the pound. There's something to be said for comfort. So, guys, I'm not going to say I'm a tent expert. I own about 6 tents. There's stuff I like about each one. There's different things. As far as a one-man tent, of course, it depends on what you're looking for and what you're going to use it for. But this Outdoor Vitals is a great, they started in their garage. It's this great little company, and they built themselves up. They're actually a real company. They have quality stuff. I've never had any issue. Their customer service is excellent. So that is my review. Do I hate the Nemo Hornet? Absolutely not. I think I've convinced myself that I'm going to keep it, just in case somebody wants to, come with me or whatever, to have a second single man tent. Oh, I was looking at the spot and I thought, man, there's quality is crap. It's faded already, but if you move that thing around, the orange moves with it. So that is not a default. So guys, please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't. Feel free to share and get out and explore. Lots of places in this world to set up in a room like this and explore the great outdoors. Thanks for watching.